Junior lightweight champion of the world, Vasyl high-tech Lomachenko. Exactly what he said he wanted to
So, seventh round corner stoppage into the seventh round. We're going to wait for the post-fight interview. In between round 7 and 8, Miguel Marriaga's team, stopped the fight after he had been knocked down at the end of the 7th round. And he was also knocked down earlier in the fight. The first knockdown, Teddy Atlas had pointed out that Marriaga's foot may have been stepped on. The second knockdown, it was just pretty much the one that was before the stoppage, the corner stoppage. It was Marriaga trying to get away from the onslaught of Vasyl Lomachenko and basically backwards momentum and taking the shot, knocked him down. Not taking any credit away from the knockdown. I'm just saying this. Listen, Lomachenko is good. The fact that he's so good, fighters are going to avoid him. He's also involved in the middle of this racial thing, involving Russia. Are they really like being that petty by not televising his fight? Is it that deep because he's Ukrainian? They're not televising his fight? I heard Bob Arum talking about it, but I thought he just was being old, just being pissed off. He has urban fans, black fans are not really riding with him like that. They respect his boxing ability and everything. I'm talking about hardcores, but they make up like shit like, well, he's ducking Rigondeaux. He should have fought Rigondeaux today, August the 5th, instead of fighting Marriaga. Even though ESPN confirmed, what we've been hearing for quite some time, that Orlando Salido turned down $750,000, which would have likely been a career-high payday, from my understanding. That would have been a career-high payday to not fight Lomachenko in a rematch, to think that he was going to get Tank Davis, and now Tank Davis is fighting Roman Rocky Martinez, somebody that Lomachenko had beat. By the way, I'm Teacher Controversy. This is Teacher Controversy Live. We're waiting for the post-fight interview from Vasyl Lomachenko. One thing I want to point out is this is real time, this video. It is now 12:55 p.m., no, 12:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, August the 6th, 2017. Why was this on so late? Now, I understand the NFL draft ran late. I would love to see what the ratings is for this, but for them to be on ESPN to try to get boxing to, larger audiences, it shouldn't be on this late. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and we haven't, almost 1 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, and we haven't seen the post-fight interview. So which means what? It's like 10:55 over on the West Coast. This is a late ass. Basically, it's not free TV. You gotta have cable to have ESPN, but this is a late ass fight. So. We got to talk about where Lomachenko's going to go from here, because, if he doesn't fight Rigondeaux or a Mikey Garcia, fans will accept the Orlando Salido rematch, but, he's going to get a lot of shit. Now, there's been talks, that Lomachenko and Rigondeaux had spoke on the phone. But then, I heard that Lomachenko told Michelle Joy Phelps behind the glove, shout out to them, that they haven't because of the language barrier. But of course, they could have had some translators around. But if you notice, ever since that news came out that they had spoken on the phone, they haven't been beefing with each other on social media. And yes, it was at one point in time where it was a realistic chance of making the Lomachenko-Rigondeaux fight, that Rigondeaux backed off. But guess what? That's why I say Lomachenko was involved in that racial shit, where it's like, no, we're not trying to hear it, But yet Rigondeaux seems as though to be credible. So you have also the other BS logic of fans saying shit like, well, Rigondeaux only fought 1 round against Miguel Flores on June the 17th. He can fight on August the 5th. No, it makes no sense. Interviews right here.
Fashion, it seemed like you enjoyed breaking him down. What kind of performance did you want to have tonight on ESPN in front of these fans?
Thank you very much, all. Thank you very much for support me. It was interesting. Thank you. It was very interesting fight for me. I have this fight. I have more experience, Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, when you look at your performance, you always say, I judge my performance based on how my face looks. You've got a cut, you've got a mouse under your eyes. How will you judge your performance?
I need training my defense. I need to work on my defense.
All right. The offense was actually working pretty good tonight. But everybody wants to know the future. Who do you want to fight next, Vasyl?
For me, it doesn't matter. Anybody. I want to fight. I want to unificate titles. For me, it doesn't matter.
Vasyl Lomachenko keeps climbing the pound-for-pound rankings. Can't go any higher than Teddy has him.
No, Teddy says #1 pound for pound in the world. Vasyl Lomachenko. Some have thrown out the name of the undefeated fellow two-time gold medalist Guillermo Rigo or Mikey Garcia. They met up this week. We will see where the career continues. But what a treat it was to watch the skill and the destructive power in the end of the champ of the world. The junior lightweight champion defends his crown. Vasyl Lomachenko victorious in LA.
Also, I like how his English is getting better. If you didn't get a chance to check out that Camp Life documentary, it's the top rank like documentary drama leading up to the fight. Basically, it's called Camp Life, so it should be self-explanatory. I like how his English is getting better. Also, you know, people, of course, going to talk about how, you know, Miguel Marriaga was slipping a lot of that shit. A lot of that shit wasn't hitting clean. But either way, Vasyl Lomachenko still was doing whatever he wanted, you know. He did get cut, but it wasn't a type of cut. Well, once he got cut, he started to pick up the pace, and then 2 rounds later, it was no more than 2 rounds later, Marriaga was out of there. Now, as I was saying, the reason why Marriaga had the Marriaga fight happened was because this was supposed to be Orlando Salido, right? It couldn't have been Guillermo Rigo. You can't fight on June the 17th and then fight a big high-profile fight on August the 5th. You know, not a big fight like that. It just couldn't have happened unless they already was in some type of talks, you know. And it was supposed to be Orlando Salido, but, you know, it didn't happen. Now, he's in a tough situation because the champions of the division, you got Gervonta Davis. You know, I was there at Broner Garcia, you know, where they gave Gervonta Davis his own, like, press conference before the Broner Garcia card started. He was talking about what he's going to be doing with his future. You know, you got Tevin Farmer out there. He's not fighting him. Tevin Farmer's dealing with a hand injury anyway. He got shot in the hand. You know, he's fighting Roman Rocky Martinez. That news hasn't been officially announced yet, but will be next week. So he and his team, Leonard Ellaby, and even the president of Showtime Sports, Steven Espinoza, is really dodging the shit out of those Vasyl Lomachenko questions. You got Jezreel Corrales, Golden Boy fighter. You know, that's not happening. He just had a fight. Miguel Burchuk, you know, who just had a fight. So, you know, it's all about, you know, will these fighters or will these promoters or like get over this political mumbo jumbo and fight Vasyl Lomachenko? Can the Mikey Garcia fight really happen? Or will it be some shit like what Bob Arum says, well, he's got to come to ESPN? Or will it be, you know, Mikey Garcia and whoever he's with, if he was Al Heyman or who, will he be like, you got to come to Showtime? Mikey Garcia was already talking that come to Showtime stuff at the post-fight press conference right after he beat Broner. You know, so Vasyl Lomachenko is already talking about moving up to 135, and the safe bet is Ray Beltran. Would Ray Beltran take that fight when Ray Beltran, who fought on an undercard, by the way, you know, is ranked number 2 by the WBC, number 6 by the WBA, number 1 basically by the IBF, and number 2 by the WBO? Why would he take that Lomachenko fight when he can get a championship, something that he's always wanted, and also he's fighting for a green card? But, you know, it's been some small chatter about that, so the question is, what does Vasyl Lomachenko do next? I want Rigondeaux. The fans want Rigondeaux. But will there be some situation about the weight? You know, will there be some situation about the weight? You know, will there be some situation about the money? We're not trying to hear that shit. But the safe bet is that rematch with Orlando Salido. That's looking like that's going to be the safe bet. You know, just my personal opinion. You know, Mikey Garcia, I just don't, even though they met up at ESPN, that was totally coincidental from my understanding. I just don't see it happening, man. You know, so Lomachenko did what he's supposed to do in the second of ESPN's big time boxing event. It's bigger than ESPN Friday Night Fights, even though they're still using Teddy Atlas and Joe Tessitore and now Timothy Bradley. It's a bigger, high profile, more setup. So this was supposed to be Salido. Remember, the first one for Top Rank was Pacquiao Horn, which was a huge hit. This second one was supposed to be Salido, you know, which would have been a huge hit among hardcore fans. And, you know, now it's all about what they're going to do next, you know. On T Street Controversy, this is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.